much stronger today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Snail podcast. Again, thanks for joining me again this week for another podcast. Okay, we're gonna get right in. We've made it, guys. We made it through January, right? So I mean, we celebrated when we made it through last year, and now we've made it through January. So, cheers! We made it. We made it, guys. We made it. Now we've only got the rest of our life to go. Okay. I haven't been doing an awful lot lately. I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2. That's the thing to do, right? I know I'm way behind. I don't play online. I just play on my own. But I spent years playing Fallout, and so I'm not a hardcore gamer. I just kind of, anytime I get time, I do it. But so I still have a couple videos in the backlog that have just footage. Not really, it's old footage, but I still have to get those up. So the next couple weeks, I'm going to be doing those, and after that, we'll get back to the regularly. That's a weird word. Regularly scheduled programming. I have a lot of new stuff coming up that's kind of based in what I've been doing, and also hopefully the Judge Part 3 will be put together sometime this year, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I've gotten a couple new lenses in. Not like real expensive lenses, but kind of. First of all, I got some of the UV filters and ND filters, and I think I got a small 2.2 times telephoto lens that you can just screw on the end of any lens, and I think I got a fisheye lens that comes with it. So a couple of those lenses. I've been looking at new cameras. Thinking about getting maybe another camera. That way I'd have two decent, higher quality cameras that I could use in the podcast instead of having one camera and then the other two handy cams. The handy cams are good for doing like vlogs and action shots, but for getting a really good picture, they're not that great, as you may be able to tell. Obviously, I mean, you should be able to tell. The picture isn't as great. Also, you know, cameras now are almost the cheapest camera you get, all shooting 4K, and handy cams are still back in the 1080p, so the resolution isn't as great. But like I said, I'll have to. It all has to do with money. I have to keep an eye on it and see what happens. I've been watching a lot of Scrubs, kind of catch up on that show, so I can watch it along with the Scrubs podcast that I talked about in the last podcast. So I've been doing a lot of that. Been watching for I think a week from season 1 on, and I'm somewhere around episode 9 in season 3. So I got a ways to go because they are already on season 4. So maybe this weekend I can catch up. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, so I came up with this great idea, and people laugh at me when I say it, and it's I don't think it's quite fair because it's not funny. This is a great idea. Okay, so Chick-fil-A, right? This is going out to you, Chick-fil-A. You need to make a chicken and waffles something, okay? It doesn't have to be a sandwich, but you make sandwiches. It could be a chicken and waffle sandwich. But I don't know why you haven't jumped on this market of chicken and waffles. People love chicken and waffles. I don't a big fan, but other people are, okay? So, I mean, I know KFC rolled it out, but KFC sucks, okay? This isn't Chick-fil-A, all right? So you guys need to jump. This is a gold mine here. Gold mine idea that you guys need to take seriously, and you need to look at it, okay? That's my one free gift to you, Chick-fil-A. I don't require any I don't require any payment for that idea. You take that and you run with it, right? All right. What are we doing on podcasts this week? Okay, so back. Oh man, when was this podcast? This podcast was 2 weeks ago. So today is the 31st, right? Yeah, today would be the 31st. So 2 weeks. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, that's why it wasn't my last podcast. 2 weeks ago, Eric Weinstein, however this this certain person pronounces this name, did a podcast with Glenn Beck, and I know a lot of people don't like Glenn Beck because he's some crazy right-wing conspiracy guy, but Eric Weinstein is a leftist. So I mean, it's like you got two. I was gonna say two negatives making a positive or something, but I don't know. That's kind of how that works. But yeah. So it was a good podcast to listen to. If you can find that podcast, listen to it. The problem with a lot of people nowadays is they're right. I'm not listening to a word they say, or they're left, or they're whatever. You guys need to be listening to what everybody says, okay? That's how you determine whether they're crazy or not crazy. You can't just listen to what people tell you. I mean, why would you go around life having people tell you what to do? That doesn't make any sense. You figure it out on your own, okay? Don't let people tell you what to do and what to think and how to behave. Use your damn brain, okay? This isn't... You're not a child, okay? We're all adults. We don't need people telling us how to be, okay? You listen to one person, you listen to another person, you put those things together and say they're both full of shit, okay? That's how you got to do this stuff. So I really recommend that podcast to go listen to. Let's see. I've been listening to a lot of Joe Rogan, and he's of course doing a lot of crazy UFO nonsense and his you got to take DMT nonsense, and also he's got a slew of comedians, which those are just pretty much 4 hours of two people just bullshit nonsense. So there hasn't been a whole lot there. He did do a podcast with Tulsi Gabbard. I'm not entirely sure when that was. That was either the beginning of this week or the end of last week. And I don't know. I mean, I actually thinking about it, I do know why. But I think Tulsi Gabbard could have been a pretty good pick for a presidential candidate, and I don't know why you guys. I mean, I know why, because I mean, it's the DNC and the RNC can't have good, reasonable people as their candidates, which is why we end up with the ones that we get. So yeah, I don't remember. I remember her from the debates, but I didn't. I mean, they didn't really focus on her a whole lot, obviously, because they didn't want her. They wanted, Elizabeth Warren or Joe Biden or let's see, can't remember the other one. Yeah, I can't remember what there were three of them. But anyway, they everyone pushes the ones that they, basically this group of people pick the people that you get to vote for president. That's how this works. It's not like, we get to pick somebody. It's no, they pick the people, and then you get to pick which one. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in, which is a god awful situation. I know some people think it's not bad because you're because you're a liberal or a Democrat or whatever, and some people think it's like the Antichrist, but that's because you're some crazy right-wing person. That, I mean, it's the same bad that it's always been. I mean, I'll elaborate here in a second. So on the 28th, 21st, Joe Biden was inaugurated as the 46th president of the United States. Gave his inaugural address, which I think was great. I think almost every inaugural address is great. They have their slew of speechwriters that jam together and write a great speech, depending on, what the situation of the country is. Of course, this time it was unity and God bless America, which I don't understand. The majority of the left stomps around talking about how America sucks, and then when their leader gets in, it's America's great, flags and all kinds of crap. I know the Betsy Ross flag was flown in D.C. during the inauguration, even though a lot of the left side of the spectrum type people kept walking around saying that it was a racist flag, on the lines of the Confederate flag and stuff. And a lot of people say a lot of things that don't make sense. Sorry, I got distracted. I saw somebody walking by the window, which doesn't normally happen. A lot of people don't walk around here. And back to the Joe Biden thing. So Joe Biden is in office, and they had nobody at the inauguration except for all the elites, all the past presidents and all the members of Congress. No people that they're supposed to be representing there, which, I mean, I guess makes sense because they keep saying our democracy, which, I've been told, especially by my liberal friend in college, that we're not a democracy, we're a representative republic. But as many times as I've been told that our democracy, I'm starting to believe that we're not a representative republic anymore. I mean, I look across the whole spectrum of Congress, and I don't see anybody that represents me. I mean, where are the libertarians in Congress? Where are the libertarians in the judicial branch? Judicial branch. Where are the libertarians in the executive? I don't see them. I don't see anybody representing me. I mean, none of the people that I voted for the last two elections are in office, except for a couple that are on the local school board, which those people are useless. I mean, I voted for them because they all said that they would get kids back in school, and I mean, they can't get kids back in school if people aren't going to go back to school. I don't. Which the whole school situation is nonsense. You've got some people going to school, and a lot of people that haven't been to school for days and months and damn near a year. And those people are going to be pretty dumb. Yep. If we didn't have dumb enough people, we're going to have some pretty dumb people, because we have a whole generation not going to school. So, I mean, good luck with that. The sad part is, the people that can afford private schools and such, those people are going to school and they're learning, and that's going to really screw up your whole equity thing, Democrats. So I don't know what kind of game you're pulling. I mean, I understand keeping people stupid, but you're being selective. And it's kind of the wrong type of selective because the constituents you're supposed to be representing are the ones that are going to be the dumb ones. So I don't know what your game plan is, but that's what's happening. I don't know. But you guys do what you want to do, I guess. I don't have any kids, so it's not. I mean, other than the fact that I'm paying taxes for nothing, it's yeah, there's that. So anyway, Joe Biden got old Sleepy Joe as the people that don't like him like to call him, and he is not sleeping. He's doing the opposite of that. He's got his pen and he's just signing those executive orders, man. It's insane. I mean, we're living through historical moments here that if we survive are going to be insane stories. I mean, think of the biggest things that happened in the country with the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, all the World Wars, the Great Depression, the Spanish flu, Civil Rights Movement, all that stuff, all the things that the old people sit around and when you have to go write your school papers, you go and ask your great grandparents what it was like to be. I mean, we're living through those. If we make it to the other side of this complete nonsense, that's going to be us. So it's really exciting. It's really exciting, to be honest. Joe Biden has signed somewhere around 30 something executive orders at this point, I think, in the span of a week and a half. Which, I mean, at this rate, he would. I think somebody did the math. He signed like an average of 5 a day or something like that. So if he were to continue, he would get to like 5,000 or something, which is insane. It actually, it's funny when you go back and look at it and see all the executive orders that were signed, because the media don't really talk about all the exact. I mean, they will if there's a slew of them, and so of course every president that starts, so if they start signing executive orders at the beginning of their term, that they'll make a big deal about it, or if all of a sudden they're signing a bunch of executive orders, they'll make a big deal about it. So you don't hear that presidents are signing an average of a couple hundred executive orders throughout their presidential terms, like Trump and Obama. But when you go back to, I think when you go back to presidents like FDR, he's got over 1,000 that he signed in his term. Though, was he the one that served like 3 terms or something? I can't remember. But yeah, so there's it definitely opens up a question, a topic of discussion to talk about. But yeah, so I mean, Congress isn't doing anything except trying to impeach somebody that's not a president. And the GameStop thing, that has, the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 days has been, that's another thing. It's like another thing right in the middle of everything. It's the GameStop situation is so interesting to watch, and it's not just the situation itself, but how the different aspects respond to the situation. And it's funny because this happened, and then I remember a reporter asked the press secretary what the Treasury Secretary thought about it, and the press secretary had nothing to say except that the Treasury Secretary was the first ever female Treasury Secretary, and you're like, that what? How was that a response? And then it comes out that the Treasury Secretary, which I think is Janet Yellen, I think is her name. It turns out she has a tie to one of the hedge funds that's losing all the money, from this big short squeeze situation going on, and so now she has to recuse herself, or she doesn't have to. She's chosen to recuse herself from the situation because they've paid her money to give all these speeches and stuff, and so she's tied in with them. And oh my gosh, it's like you can't write this stuff. This stuff is so good. So yeah, that's it. I mean, it would be depressing, but it's so exciting at the same time. And what's crazy is everybody is out against Wall Street on this thing. They're all for Main Street. Even, I mean, the Republicans in Congress are saying it was bad, and the Democrats in Congress are saying it was bad, and the Republicans are saying, "Oh man, this is something we agree on," and the Democrats are saying, "You tried to kill us." So it's kind of crazy. It's definitely not boring. When I can think back and say that I don't remember things being exciting like this before, but I could just not have been paying attention. But it definitely doesn't feel that way. I mean, it's everybody is just and so the second you throw, it's like you throw one thing in it and it explodes because everybody's just all pent up and everything. It's several Democratic members of Congress are accusing Republican or GOP members of Congress being involved with what they're calling the insurrection on the 6th, and so now either they need to have some evidence or that, or I think there's going to be some defamation lawsuits happening. I don't know how you can walk around and say you're trying to kill us, and not. I mean, there's gotta. If the Democrats want evidence of election fraud, then I think the Republicans deserve some evidence of they're trying to kill the Democrats, right? Isn't that how that goes? I don't know. I know I really think the only way that anybody that is in the middle or that seems logically minded, I think the only way that we can fix the issue that we're in is to vote. You need to vote locally. You need to stop worrying about the crazy DC people. And I mean, you need to look at your city councils, your governors, your mayors, and your sheriffs, and you need to vote people that are fucking not crazy. Okay, there's too much crazy, and it's two-sided crazy. It's not everybody's crazy in the same way, and it seems like that's all we've got in DC. It's I don't know. I wish that I would have went to law school and then been selected to be a justice on the Supreme Court because I don't think those people do a whole lot of anything. I mean, this is sidebar, but like all the times that they could have made rulings on certain cases, they're just like, yeah, we're gonna send it back down to the circuit courts. They're gonna take care of it. We're not gonna rule on this. And then they go back into their chambers and their robes and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing. And like I said, Congress isn't doing a whole lot. And the executive is just signing away these executive orders. I know the next couple months, couple years are gonna be real exciting. People are gonna lose their jobs. Prices are gonna be really high. If people have a job, they're gonna be paid a lot. since they're going to raise the minimum wage, but that much money won't buy anything because inflation's going to go through the roof as soon as the market figures out the fuck it's doing, because it's there's the interest rates have been drastically held down for so long. I mean, it's one of the things where the longer they kick this can down the road, the bigger the explosion is going to be at the end of it. So, I mean, I guess if you can do it for 4 years, and or whoever's if whoever's the next president, I guess. I don't know. I do not know. One thing I do know is that you people in West Virginia need to stop voting for Joe Manchin. I don't know why you keep doing that. It doesn't make sense. It's like if you were to vote for your senators and you picked Ocasio-Cortez for one senator and the rest of you picked Ted Cruz. I don't understand. I also don't understand why you picked Jim Justice to be your governor. I mean, the guy's the richest person in the whole state. You're gonna stick there. As poor as West Virginia is, you're gonna go, hey, that guy has all the money. Let's put him in charge. Why would you do that? And the guy's breaking the law. He's supposed to be governing from the governor's house. He's not even living there. I mean, he's breaking the law. Is nobody paying attention to this? I mean, is it just because West Virginia is too busy, shooting up opioids? Is that what it is? I don't understand. I don't understand why you guys can't vote for decent people. And I pick on West Virginia because that's where I'm from, but it's all across the board everywhere. I mean, New Mexico's all upset because they're being affected by the Keystone Pipeline situation, and I mean, you voted for Biden. I don't understand the buyer's remorse that I keep. I mean, I'm not hearing a lot, but I'm hearing little snippets here and there. It's like, oh, some people are kind of upset that Joe Biden's doing all this stuff. Well, I mean, he said he was going to end fracking. He said he was going to stop it. He said he was going to. All he's been doing since he got elected is doing what he said he was going to do. The problem was you guys weren't paying attention. You just went, oh, that's not Trump. I'm voting for him. And there you go. That's what you get. And you can't do anything about it. So Biden has free rein to do whatever he wants. You can't do anything about it. That's it. And the more that people on the right violently try to push back, the more that the rights are going to be restricted. So yeah, the key is vote locally, and you vote your local people in that have some sense, and then if there's ever anything put into motion by the federal government, then they just say, no, I'm not doing it. And there's a lot more of the country than there is of the federal government. And so all you need is enough people saying, no, we're not going to do these things, and that will be enough. You don't have to take your gun into the Capitol. That's fucking stupid. But, yeah, so I don't know why I gotta end on that terrible note every time. But yeah, that's gonna be the podcast. Last time I went through my drink a little fast, so I kind of poured it double today. Which was a good idea. Great idea. Next podcast, we're gonna do a book review, which I thought would be a cool thing to do. I mean, it's different than the last 3 podcasts where I just stand here and ramble on and say things that make people angry and waste their time. So we're going to be reviewing this book here, which I think will probably do the same thing as everything else. But look, here's the deal. I have a friend, okay? I have a friend, and he probably doesn't watch these videos. Oh no, my battery's out. Well, anyway, so we're gonna do the book review, and we'll do that on next podcast. Stay tuned next week for a video, and then the week after we'll do the podcast. All right. Thanks everybody. Thanks for listening.